Hey everyone, it's Brian Powers over at Remax First. If you're like me, probably the last thing you want right now is to hear from somebody else talking about coronavirus. But I will say I'm getting a lot of phone calls and text messages and emails from people asking, hey, what are your thoughts on the real estate market as it relates to what's going on out there? What are you seeing taking place out there? Where do you think we're headed with real estate? And so when people care enough to reach out to me for information, I feel an obligation to try to put together answers and information that will help you answer your questions and address your concerns. So just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about that. Obviously there's a lot of fear and anxiety out there right now. I think that's perfectly understandable. We all have it. I think if anybody says they're not experiencing any fear or any anxiety, they're not being honest. I'm not going to come at you with a typical salesperson's cliche and say, oh, now's a great time to buy a house because of what's going on out there. Or now's a great time to sell a house because of what's going on out there. It would be incredibly inappropriate and quite frankly, I think irresponsible to make a blanket statement like that, because the truth is for some people, it certainly is a great time to sell a house or buy a house. But for some people, it's time to kind of hit the pause button and take a step back and wait until they're more comfortable. And that's okay too. Long term, I think the real estate market is going to be fine. Before all this happened, the fundamentals were incredibly strong. Supply and demand were in a very healthy spot. Interest rates were incredibly low. Buyers and sellers were genuinely excited about the prospect of selling a home or buying a home. And so I don't think that that's all just going to evaporate and disappear because of coronavirus. I think when we get through this together, and we will get through this together because we always do. If you look at the history of our country, we've been hit with crisis after crisis after crisis over several hundred years. And the one common theme is we always check our differences at the door and we rally around each other and we always get through it. And this will be no different. So when we get through this, I think the fundamentals that were there before this happened are still going to be there, and they're going to push the real estate market forward, and it's still going to be a healthy market. That's not to say there won't be any short-term pain. There very well may be. There's certainly going to be people in the short term who say, hey, I was planning to buy a house, but I'm going to hit the pause button and wait to see what happens next. There's certainly going to be people who are planning to sell a home, but want to take a step back and say, hey, I'm just not comfortable putting my house on the market until I know a little bit more. Those are perfectly understandable and reasonable feelings to have. But I also know this, and I know this because I'm literally seeing it every day in my business. There are plenty of people who see opportunity and are willing to kind of move forward with their plans in spite of everything that's going on out there. We're literally showing houses almost on a daily basis to home buyers who want to be out there looking at homes and writing offers. Met with a home seller over the weekend. They want their house on the market in spite of all this. We went on the market yesterday. We're already getting showing requests. So one of the things that makes me so hopeful and optimistic about the future is there are a lot of people who aren't willing to let this crisis just make everything in their world stop. They're still pushing through and pushing forward. So I think I really truly believe when the dust settles and we get through this, the fundamentals of the market that were there before are still going to be there, and we're going to have a really strong real estate market. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an idea of where my head's at and all this. I'm certain that didn't answer every question everybody has. But I do want to let you know that I am literally working every single day. There's no days off. This is not a break for me. I'm certainly working from home as much as I can to be a good citizen and stay away and practice good social distancing. But I'm working. So if you have questions, concerns, anxiety about the real estate market, anything that I can help talk you through or give you information to help address your concerns or answer your questions, I'm here for you. I'm not just here when it's time to sell a house or buy a house. I'm here all the time to answer your questions and give you good information so that you can make good decisions. So stay safe, stay in touch. Like I said, I fully believe with all my heart we're going to get through this just fine. And I think most of us, not all of us, but most of us are going to be able to look back when this is all said and done and be really proud of one another and proud of how we helped our friends and our neighbors and our community all collectively get through this together. So again, stay in touch, stay safe, and if I can do anything during these difficult times to help you out, even if it's not real estate related, I want you to know that I'm always here to help out. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.